Remember when Caitlin Clark was lighting up the WNBA, pulling in millions of viewers and making every game a must-watch? Well, things have taken a shocking turn since her elimination from the playoffs. Viewership has plummeted, arenas are half empty, and it seems like fans just aren't interested anymore. How did the WNBA go from such a high to a staggering low so quickly? What's going wrong? And can the league bounce back without its rising superstar? Stick around as we break down the numbers, the mistakes, and what this could mean for the future of women's basketball. Trust me, you will not want to miss this. Let's take a minute to recognize just how much of an impact Caitlin Clark had on the WNBA in her rookie season. When she joined the Indiana Fever, the team went from being practically irrelevant to one of the most watched in the league. It wasn't just about her impressive stats. Although, let's be honest, those were off the charts. Clark averaged 30 points a game, set a new record for assists, and even became the first WNBA rookie to record 2 triple-doubles in a season. But it wasn't just about her performance on the court. Clark brought an entirely new audience to the WNBA. People who had never watched a game before were suddenly tuning in just to see what she'd do next. She had that rare star power that transcended the sport itself, making her games feel like events you couldn't miss. This surge in attention wasn't just a fluke either. Clark's games were pulling in over 1.8 million viewers, while non-Clark games struggled to get even half that. She wasn't just another player. Caitlin Clark was a phenomenon, and for a while it seemed like she was single-handedly carrying the WNBA's ratings on her back. Everything seemed to be going well for the WNBA during the regular season, thanks largely to Caitlin Clark's performances.
Because she has been eliminated, she and the Indiana Fever are eliminated after losing 2 games to the Connecticut Sun. What is the rest of the season going to look like, ratings-wise, for the WNBA? Are people still going to care? That is the question on everybody's mind.
But things took a sharp turn when her team, the Indiana Fever, got knocked out of the playoffs by the Connecticut Sun. Despite Clark's best efforts, including a 29-point game with 10 assists and 7 rebounds, it just wasn't enough to keep her team in the running. Her elimination didn't just mark the end of the Fever's playoff hopes, it also signaled a turning point for the league as a whole. Almost immediately after her exit, the WNBA's ratings plummeted. The same games that had been pulling in nearly 2 million viewers were now struggling to hit 500,000. The drop-off was swift and brutal, showing just how reliant the league had become on its newest star.
I feel like the WNBA fumbled this season on a lot of levels, unfortunately. Now we have people not wanting to watch the WNBA because there are other players who want to say slick things and play dirty and this and that. I do feel bad, and I hope that next season it gets cleaned up because we're going to have more young superstars coming in the league. Like, we can't have this kind of jealousy, pettiness towards them.
The playoff format didn't help matters either. The WNBA uses a best-of-3 series in the first round, which doesn't leave much room for error. A single bad game can end a team's season, and for the Fever, that's exactly what happened. In contrast, the NBA uses a best-of-7 series, which allows for more drama and a higher chance of comebacks. The WNBA's shorter series format may have robbed fans of more Caitlin Clark magic, and the league is feeling the consequences. Now let's dive into the numbers, because this is where things get really alarming. Before Caitlin Clark's elimination, the WNBA was riding high. Her games were bringing in over 1.8 million viewers on average, a massive boost for a league that typically struggles with ratings. But after her exit, the numbers tell a much different story. Viewership plummeted to just 161,000 for some playoff games. That's not just a small drop, that's a complete collapse. To put it into perspective, Clark's games were drawing more viewers than many NBA regular season matchups. After her elimination, the WNBA couldn't even pull in enough viewers to fill a mid-sized city. It's as if the league went from being the hottest ticket in town to something people forgot about overnight. This wasn't just a TV problem either. Attendance at games took a hit too. During the regular season, arenas were packed whenever Clark was on the court, with some venues selling out completely. But after her exit, those same arenas were suddenly filled with empty seats. The excitement was gone, and fans just weren't as interested in watching the remaining teams duke it out.
But the point is, what is your problem? She is a phenomenal talent. And an even better person. I happen to have met and did an event with Caitlin Clark. I think she's wonderful.
Caitlin Clark's exit from the playoffs has exposed a much deeper issue within the WNBA, the league's over-reliance on individual stars to drive its success. When Clark was playing, the WNBA was thriving. But the moment she was out, everything came crashing down. This isn't a sustainable model for any league, let alone one that's already struggling to gain mainstream attention. It's not that the WNBA lacks talent. There are plenty of amazing players in the league. But the problem is that the league hasn't done enough to build up multiple stars who can carry the torch when someone like Clark is out. They've essentially put all their eggs in one basket, and now they're paying the price. The WNBA needs to do a better job of marketing its other stars. Players like A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Kelsey Plum are all incredibly talented, but they haven't been promoted in the same way Clark has. The league needs to create more compelling narratives around these players, giving fans reasons to tune in even when their favorite player isn't on the court. Speaking of marketing, let's talk about how the WNBA has fumbled the ball when it comes to promoting Caitlin Clark. You'd think that with a star as bright as Clark, the league would be doing everything in its power to showcase her to the world, but instead, there's been a noticeable lack of marketing around her. Where are the Nike commercials? Where's the Caitlin Clark signature shoe deal? Why hasn't the WNBA capitalized on her star power in the same way the NBA does with its biggest players? It's almost as if they didn't realize what they had. And now, with her out of the playoffs, the league is scrambling to figure out how to keep fans engaged. Other sports leagues have mastered the art of promoting their stars. The NBA, for example, knows how to turn its players into global icons. They create storylines that fans can follow all season long, keeping people hooked even when their favorite team isn't playing. The WNBA, on the other hand, seems stuck in the past, failing to fully embrace the modern marketing strategies that could take the league to the next level. So, where does the WNBA go from here? It's clear that the league can't continue to rely on one player to drive its success. If the WNBA wants to keep growing and attracting new fans, they need to take a multi-pronged approach to player development, marketing, and fan engagement. First, the league needs to do a better job of promoting its existing stars. Caitlin Clark is amazing, but she's not the only great player in the WNBA. Players like A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Kelsey Plum all deserve more attention, and the league needs to build compelling narratives around them. Second, the WNBA needs to think outside the box when it comes to marketing. The league can't just rely on traditional advertising methods. It needs to embrace social media, create viral content, and find new ways to engage with fans. Imagine a reality show that follows the lives of WNBA players, or a series of viral videos showcasing their skills and personalities. These are the kinds of things that could help the league reach a wider audience. And finally, the WNBA needs to make every game feel like an event. Whether it's through fan engagement initiatives, better marketing, or improved game day experiences, the league needs to give people a reason to tune in, even when their favorite player isn't on the court. So what do you think? Can the WNBA bounce back after Caitlin Clark's elimination, or has the league become too reliant on its biggest star? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth sports analysis. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time as we dive deeper into the world of sports and the stories that shape the game.